Good morning. Namaste to each of you. Thank you for joining me this morning to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's just take a moment to become present. So find a nice, comfortable seated position where you can sit with your spine nice and long and your heart open. And gently close your eyes and soften your thoughts. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders. And soften your heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on your mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. This morning, I'd like to talk about Indigenous Day, which is coming up on Monday. In 2019, just 2 years ago, Vermont officially changed Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. And my intention this morning is to view the word or see the word know or knowing to know, K-N-O-W, through their eyes. The native scholar Greg Cajete, I hope I pronounced that right, has written, in indigenous ways of knowing, we understand a thing only when we understand it with all four aspects of our being: mind, body, emotion, and spirit. And Robin Waller Kimmerer, who's the author of this wonderful book I love, Braiding Sweetgrass, she says, the most important thing each of us can know is our unique gift and how to use it in the world. Individuality is cherished and nurtured because in order for the whole to flourish, each of us has to be strong in who we are and carry our gifts with conviction so they can be shared with others. So for today's pranayama, our breathing technique, I'd like to do the pranayama Kumbhaka. And Kumbhaka focuses on the natural pause between the inhale and the exhale, where the mind and the body become more still and clear. And you can tap in to that space where you know things. It's like that sixth sense that you tap into, where you just, what you know is like an intuition. There's a beautiful quote that I found, and it relates to Kumbhaka. It says, breathing is the sound of your body. When it is paused, you can hear the sound of your spirit. So let's just take a few moments and pay attention to our natural breath. And you can use the complete breath as well, from your stomach up to your rib cage and up to your chest, and then letting it flow from your chest to your rib cage and your stomach. That's the complete breath or Dirja breath, or just your natural breath. And when you reach the top of your inhale, gently pause. Don't hold your breath, just pause. and tune into that stillness. And perhaps you can hear the sound of your spirit, your knowing in there. So let's just take a few moments to do that. And then I'm going to segue into a meditation. So we'll do that in a minute. So let's just do 3 Kumbhakas. It's actually the Antara Kumbhaka where you're pausing at the top. There's another version of Kumbhaka where you pause at the bottom of the exhale, but this one's the Antara where we pause at the top of the inhale. So gently inhale and then gently pause and then exhale. Inhale, pause, exhale. Inhale, pause, exhale. So in our meditation, if you'd like to keep working on that breath, maybe pausing a little bit more and trying to tune into that sound of your spirit. And if you'd like to use a mudra, the Gyan mudra is mudra that's known for knowledge, and knowledge has that word know in it, and it stimulates wisdom and knowledge. And to do the Gyan, we've done it before, it's creating a circle with your forefinger and your thumb, and then extending the other 3 out. And you could just gently lie those on your lap while you're meditating. So we're going to take a few moments to meditate using the Antara Kumbhaka. And if you'd like to incorporate the Gyan mudra, the mudra of knowledge, please do so. And I'll meet you on the mat. You may open your eyes now and we'll start our asana practice. You can stay on your blanket or cushion for a few moments here. We'll start with shoulder shrugs. And just gently put your fingertips on your mat and relax your shoulders, rolling them back. And then gently roll them up toward your ears with an inhale. Moving them toward the back, bringing your shoulder blades together, and then bringing your shoulders down toward the mat. And then forward, kind of broadening your shoulder blades in the back, up to your ears, rounding them toward your back so your shoulder blades come together, then back down to the mat, and rolling them forward so you're expanding your back, and then up toward your ears. Inhale, down, exhale, up, inhale, and down, exhale. And then reverse the direction, keeping your shoulders just ever so soft and gentle and pliable, releasing any tension. And then relax your arms. Bringing your fingertips to the mat. I'm going to start with some sun breaths. So inhale, lifting your arms up overhead. Big inhale, and exhale, bringing them back down. Inhale, bringing your hands up overhead or to a V shape, whatever's most comfortable for you. And then back down. Inhale up. And exhale, back down. Inhale up. And this time we're going to keep our arms up and then twist to the left and bring our arms down for a sun twist. Then inhale back up. Sweeping our hands over, twisting to the right, bring our hands back down to the mat. Then inhale, lifting our arms up, coming to the front, twisting to the left, and bringing our arms back down. Inhale, come back up. Reaching over, twisting to the right, bring our hands back down. And then inhale, lifting up one last time over to the left, twisting, bringing your hands down. And this time, place your right hand on your left knee, and then bring your left hand over to your right knee. So you have your arms crossed, your right arm's under your left, and then bringing the back of your palms together for eagle arms. And you can stay here in eagle arms, or if you are able to, you just bring your palms of your hands together. And then we'll gently raise our hands up toward the sky, and then bringing them gently back down to a comfortable shoulder height. Then inhale, lift them up toward the sky, and then back down. And one last time, lifting them up toward the sky, and then come back down. You release your hands, and we'll do that, and we'll end on the other side. So inhale, sweeping our hands up overhead for sun breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale up. Deep exhale down. And you can use your Ujjayi breath, the Darth Vader breath, if you like. and down. And inhale up. Keep your arms up overhead, and we're going to twist to the right side of our mat and bring our arms down. And inhale, sweeping them up overhead, and then twist our body to the left, bringing them down, arms down to the left side of the mat. Inhale, lift up, gently twist over to the right, bring our arms down on the right side of the mat. Inhale, lift up, twist to the left, bring our arms down. Inhale, come up, sweeping over to the right side. Exhale, bringing your arms down, placing your left hand on your right knee, and then bringing your right hand over to your left knee. So now your left arm is underneath your right arm. And bring the backs of your palms together. And if you're able to, bring the palms of your hands together. Then we'll send our hands up toward the sky, and then come back down to a comfortable shoulder height. Inhale, lift up toward the sky. Exhale, come back down. And one last time, lift up toward the sky and come back down. We're going to roll down on our mat, so you may remove your cushion and slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time with control. And if gravity takes over, that's fine. Just let yourself roll back. And then bring your knees to your chest and give them a nice gentle hug. And rock back and forth, massage your lower back. Then we're going to place, hold on to your left knee and place your right knee on the mat. So your sole of your foot's on the mat. And then we're going to extend our left leg up into the air. So you can either have your hands supporting your leg as it goes up to the air. And this will stretch out your hamstrings. And if they're a little tight, you just put a bend into your knee and just get to a point where what I call the sweet spot, a little bit of effort and a little bit of relaxation. Don't force anything into that position. It'll get there eventually. This is a practice, not a perfection. So you can support your leg, or you can have your hands palms down on the mat, pushing into your right foot to kind of get that leg up as straight as you can. And then we're going to point our toe on the inhale and flex our foot on the exhale. So point, inhale, flex, exhale, point, inhale, flex, exhale, point, inhale, flex, exhale, point, inhale, flex, exhale. And then we're going to make circles with our foot. So you can either do that with your ankle, moving your toes, creating a little circle with your toes, or you can move your whole leg and create circles with your whole leg. Whichever you prefer, whichever feels more comfortable. And then reverse the direction. And then we're going to bring our left foot, our left leg, and cross it over our right. So as if we're sitting in a chair with our legs crossed. This time, put your hands, if they're not already, on the mat with palms down. And then bring your right leg up into a 90-degree angle. Again, just as if you're sitting in a chair. And this is a form of eagle legs. So you can stay here. Or if you're able to, you can wrap your left toe around your left or your right calf. so that you're kind of in a pretzel there. And then we're going to just kind of push our foot toward the end of the mat and then pull our knees back toward us. And do that very gently. So inhale, pushing toward the end of the mat, exhale, or actually it probably feels better the other way. Yeah, push, exhale, pull, inhale. Push, exhale, pull, inhale. And one last time, push out toward the end of the mat and pull in toward you. And then we're going to take our right foot and plant it on the mat. And then slide our right foot all the way down, leaving our left knee pointing up to the sky and planting our left foot on the mat on the outside of your right leg. Then we're going to gently take our left knee, and you take your right hand, putting it on your left knee, and guide that left knee toward the right side of the mat. So we're creating a twist. Your shoulders can still stay on the mat, if you're able to do that, and just twist at the torso, at the waistline, guiding your left knee toward the right side of the mat, as far as that's comfortable for you. And then we're gonna bring our arms up to shoulder height, extend them out from our sides at shoulder height. We're gonna take our left hand, sweep it over, and bring it over to our right hand. So when we do that, we're actually turning our top of our shoulders over. So we're almost on our side. So our hands are together. And then inhale, sweep our left hand back over to the left side. And then we're going to bring our right hand, sweep that over, and bring it over to the left side. And this time it won't meet up with our palm. Maybe it'll meet up with our elbow or a little further down, but it won't connect with our palm. Just have it land where it's comfortable. And then sweep the right hand back over. So you're open at like a T, and then bring your left hand back over to the right hand. And then bring your left hand back over to the left, and then bring your right hand over to the left side toward your left hand as far as it'll go. And then sweep your right hand back, open up to a T. And then bring your legs back to center and bring them back to your chest and give a nice hug. We'll do that on the other side. So wrap your, oh, we did that. Nope. This leg went up, this leg. I'm trying to remember which leg I did because I did it backwards from what I usually do. All right, so plant your left foot on the mat, knee pointing up. And then we're going to extend our right leg up to the sky. And again, you can support it with your hands, or if you want, you can put your palms down on the mat and use those as support. Your lower back, your navel should be tucked into your spine so that your lower back comes close or meets the mat. Then we're going to inhale, point our toes. Exhale, flex our foot. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. And then make circles either with your foot and just your ankle, or make circles moving your whole leg. And then reverse direction. Do a combination of both. And then take your right leg and cross it over your left leg like you were seated in a chair. Place your arms alongside you if they're not already, with your palms down for support. And lift your left leg up into the air at a 90-degree angle. So you're sitting in a chair. And this is eagle legs. Or if you want, you can try to wrap your right toes around your left calf, or the pretzel version of eagle legs. And then we'll guide our left foot toward the end of the mat. Exhale, inhale, pulling it back toward your chest. Exhale, push it toward the end of the mat. Inhale, come back toward your chest. Exhale, push it to the end of the mat. And inhale, back to your chest. Then unwrap your foot. Place your left foot down onto the mat. So both knees are pointing up to the sky. And then slide your left foot down to the bottom of the mat, leaving your right knee facing up to the sky. With a foot placed on the mat on the outer side of your left leg. Then take your left hand to your right knee and guide your right knee toward the left side of the mat, creating a nice twist, gentle twist in your torso. Shoulder blades are on the mat. And then extend your arms out to the side in a T shape. We'll take our right hand, sweep it overhead, and bring it over to our left hand. And just, you can roll over a little bit so that your palms meet up. And then sweep your right hand back to the right side. And sweep your left hand over to the right side, and it won't meet the palm. It'll probably come around your elbow, and that's fine. And sweep your left hand up and over again to the left side, sweeping the right hand over, bring the palms together. And then sweep your right hand back over to the right side, and sweep your left hand overhead over to the right arm. And then bring your left hand back. Unwrap your legs, bringing them back to your chest. Give them a nice gentle hug. And you can either roll over to your side or put your hands under your legs and create a rolling up movement. We're going to come back up onto the mat and come into tabletop. So whichever way works for you to get back up and into tabletop. Our hands and our knees. Our fingertips are spread wide apart, and our weight is evenly distributed into those fingertips. The wrists are right below the shoulders. Navel's tucked to the spine. Knees are right below your hips. We'll do a few cat-cows here. So round your back, dropping your pelvis and your head down. Inhale, lift your head up, creating an arch, gentle arch in your back, pelvis tilts up. Exhale, drop your head and your pelvis, rounding your back to cat. Inhale, lifting your head and pelvis up to cow. Bring your head back down, pelvis down, rounding your back to cat. Inhale back up to cow. And then just continue a few more, synchronizing your breath to your movement. Deep inhales and deep exhales. And you can experiment if you like. Just pausing your breath at the end of the movement. And lifting your head back up, and pausing it. Do it either on the inhale or exhale. And then come back to a neutral back. We'll tuck our toes under and slowly walk our hands back so that we come up onto our toes on the balls of our feet. And push down into your feet and lift up to mountain. We'll start with our mountain essentials for good posture. So your toes are facing the long side of the mat, feet about hip width apart. We can lift our toes up and spread them out as far as they will go. And then bringing them back down into the mat, lift our heels up off the mat. And then bring our heels back down to the mat. Feel that grounding into the mat, into the earth, being connected to the earth. Our legs are nice and straight and strong. Gentle bend in your knees. Navel's tucked to your spine. Shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Crown of your head is reaching up to the sky. So if you pull an invisible string, you're standing up nice and straight and tall. Inhale, sweeping our hands up overhead. Big inhale, and then exhale, bringing your hands to the mat, bending your knees deeply. And just check in with your body, see how it is today. Honor where it is today. Breathe any deep breaths into any tension that you may feel in your body. Sending it that nourishing breath of life. Then inhale, sweep your hands up to your shins. Flatten out your back for half forward fold, sending your gaze a few feet ahead. And then exhale, sending the crown of your head down toward the ground. And then sweeping your hands from the mat, from the ground, all the way up overhead. We'll come up onto our tippy toes for palm tree. And just sway here for a few moments. You can change the name to maple tree and feel that you're having your leaves falling off you. Maybe they're gently coming down to the earth. And then bring your heels back down. Bring your hands back down, bending your knees to reach the mat. Inhale, bring your hands up to your shins, flatten out your back, sending your gaze ahead. Exhale, send the crown of your head down toward the mat. And then inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up overhead, bringing your palms together. We'll go into side stretches. So dropping your right hand down to your right thigh, sliding your right hand down toward your right knee. Inhale, come back up, bringing your arm up to join the other, and bringing your left hand down to your thigh, sliding your left hand down to your left knee. Side stretch to the left. Inhale, come back up. We'll do that again on both sides. Both arms up, bring your right arm down to your right thigh, sliding it down to your right knee. And then come back up. Bring your left hand down to the left thigh, sliding it down toward your left knee. And then back up. Big inhale, big exhale, forward fold, bending your knees. Bring your hands down to the mat. Inhale, half forward fold, bringing your hands up to your shins, flattening out your back, sending your gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, bringing the crown of your head down toward the ground. Inhale, sweeping your hands all the way up, again overhead, and bringing them down to heart center. We're going to do some leg lifts. So find yourself, if you feel nice and rooted into your mat, into the earth. Lift your right leg up. Find that stability and stillness in your left. And then just point out your right toes toward the front. So it's a controlled kick. So we're just kind of sending your right toes out in front and then back. Send your front toes out and then back. And one last time, send them out and back. And you set your right leg down. We'll do that on the other side. So find that stability and stillness in your right leg, supporting your supporting leg. Lifting your left leg up. And then point your left toes out, nice and controlled. And then bring them back in. Point your toes out and bring them back in. And one last time, point your toes out and bring them back in. And set your leg down. We'll sweep our hands up overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands down to the mat. Knees are bent. Inhale. Slide your hands up to your shins. Flatten out your back. Hearts open. And then exhale, sending the crown of your head down to the mat, down to the ground. Inhale, sweep your hands up overhead. Palms come together, hands come to heart center. And then we'll bring our hands to the back of our hips. Fingertips are pointing down. Feet are hip width apart. Shoulders are nice and relaxed, rolled back. We tuck our chin to our chest and then gently send our shoulders back for a supported back bend. So be sure the chin is tucked toward the chest and not looking up or hanging back. And remember to breathe. You hold the pose, but not your breath. And then come back up. So inhale, sweeping our hands up overhead. And we're going to come into chair pose. So we're going to bend our knees, they're hip width apart, bending our knees, sending our hips down toward the earth as if we're sitting in a chair. Arms are still up. Try to get your thighs parallel to the mat or close to it. And then bring our hands down to the mat to forward fold. Crown of your head down, goes down toward the mat. Inhale, slide your hands up to half forward fold, flattening out your back, sending your gaze forward a few feet. And exhale, bring your hands to the mat and extend your feet to the back of the mat for plank. Wrists are right below your shoulders. Again, your hands are splayed out. Navel's tucked to the spine, elevating your hips slightly. You're lengthening your leg through your heels, so you're pushing your heel to the back of the mat. And then gently come down to the mat, either knees, chest, chin. So placing your knees down first, then your chest, then your chin, or chaturanga, which is just like a yoga push-up, all the while keeping your elbows tucked toward your ribs. And once you land, you come up to a cobra. So lift your head so you're gazing ahead, and then lift your hands up off the mat. Create a gentle bend. And bring your fingertips back down to the mat beneath your shoulders, keeping your elbows tucked toward your ribs. Gently push up into regular cobra. And then we're going to extend our arms and push into up dog. So you're going to be fully extended arms and resting on the tops of your feet. And bring your knees to the mat. Send your hips back to your ankles to child's pose. And inhale, come up to tabletop. Tuck our toes under, come into downward dog. So just pedal out here for a moment or two, your favorite downward dog position. Fingers still splayed out. The weight should be on your fingertips, not so much your wrists. Hips are extended up to the sky. Chest is reaching toward your thighs. Knees are bent, or you can be pedaling with bent knees. And then on the inhale, we're going to bring our right knee to our right elbow. So inhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow, pushing off your left toes. And then back to downward dog. Pedal out. Inhale, lift our right knee to our right elbow. And then pedal out. Back to downward dog, pedal out. And the last one, we're going to bring our right foot between our right hands, coming into runner's lunge. So inhale, lift your right foot, bring it between your hands. So your hands are framing your foot. And with this, we're going to make sure today that we have some space between our feet so that our right foot's in one track, like on a railroad track, and our left foot's in the other track. So they're not too close together. There's a little bit of space there for stability. And we're going to plant our left hand down on the mat, sweep our right hand up overhead for a twist. And then bring our right hand back down. I'm going to push down into our front foot, our right foot, and come up to high lunge. So you do it in two phases. come up to your knee, supporting your weight with your knee, your hands on your knee rather, and then come all the way up to high lunge. So your front leg should be bent at an angle. You're on your toes. If that's not stable enough for you, you can pivot your back foot, have it come down to the mat. So you'd be in a warrior one position. And then we're going to sweep our hands down and in back while we straighten out our front leg. So our legs, our front leg and back leg are straight, keeping a soft bend in the knee. You don't want to lock your legs, your knees, your joints. And then come forward, bending our front knee and reaching forward. And then come back, sweeping our hands back, straightening out our front leg. And like what we're flying, like wings of a bird. Bring your arms forward. And then sweep them back, straightening out your leg. And then bring them forward again. And bring your hands down to the mat. Back to runner's lunge. And pushing down in your front foot. We're going to lift our left foot up and bring it to our right foot. So we're now in forward fold. And slowly make our way back up to mountain. Bringing our hands up overhead. And we do a few sun breaths here. So inhale, exhale, deep inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. So we can do the eagle pose here. I should have warned you that we may want to use a block, but if you don't have a block available, you can just gently lift your right leg up, like we did earlier. Bring your right arm out in front. Bring your left arm over it. Bring the backs of your palms together. And we'll call that eagle pose. Or if you want the full extension of it, you can become a pretzel. Wrap your foot around and then bend as if you're about to sit into a chair. So there we go that. And now we're going to do that all on the other side. So inhale, sweeping our arms up overhead. And then bringing our feet are hip width apart, bringing our hips down toward our ankles. Come down as if you're about to sit into a chair. Then forward fold, bringing the crown of your head down toward the mat. Inhale, sweep up, half forward fold, flat back, gaze out. Exhale, forward fold, crown of your head reaching down toward the mat. And then placing our hands on the mat, we're going to extend our feet all the way to the back of the mat for plank pose. Wrists are right below your shoulders. Navel's tucked to your spine. Heels are pushing to the back of the mat. And then come down to the mat, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, keeping your elbows tucked to the side. And then lift your head, sending your gaze forward, lifting your hands off the mat for baby cobra. Bringing your hands down to the mat, right below your shoulders, gently push down, keeping your elbows tucked to your ribs into regular cobra. And then extend your arms all the way, coming into up dog. You're on the tops of your feet, your arms fully extended. And bring your knees down to the mat. Sending your heels, your hips down to your heels in child's pose. Inhale, come back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Come into downward dog. Pedal out here for a few moments. Fingers are splayed. Weight of your arms are in the palms of your hand, not in your wrists. Hips are extended up to the sky. And on the inhale, we bring our left knee to our left elbow, pushing off with our right foot. And then back to downward dog, pedal out. Inhale, lift our left leg, bringing it to our left elbow. And then back to downward dog. And then on this last one, we bring our foot fully forward so it lands between our hands. So inhale, lifting our foot up, framing it with our hands, coming into runner's lunge. And again, you may want to create a little bit of space so that your left foot's in one track and your right foot's in the other track. Bring your right hand down to the mat, sweeping your left hand up to the sky. And then back down again. And we'll come up into high lunge. So bringing your hands to your knees and then up overhead. And then bringing our hands down, sweeping them back. And as we sweep them back, we're going to straighten our front leg. And exhale, coming back, sweeping our hands forward, coming back to a lunge position. And then sweep our hands back again, straightening out our front leg. And then sweeping them back to the front of the mat, coming back into the lunge. And one last time, sweep your hands back, straightening out your leg. And then sweep them back to the front of the mat, bring them both hands back down to the mat to runner's lunge. And pushing down into your foot, your front foot, lift your back foot up and bring it to meet your left foot and come into forward fold. And then slowly roll your back up to mountain, bringing your hands up overhead. We'll take a few deep sun breaths here. So inhaling, exhaling, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And then we'll try eagle pose on the other side. So we'll lift our left leg up, bring our left arm out, bringing our right arm over, bringing the backs of the palms together. And if you want to bend your knee just to sit like this, it's a version, or you could cross your left leg over your right. Just trying to find the stillness and the strength and the flexibility of this pose. And then release. Very good, everyone. Alrighty, now we're gonna bring our toes to the edges of the mat. Tuck our heels in 45 degrees. Bring our hands to heart center and slowly lower our hips down to the mat, bringing our torso between our knees, bringing the elbows to the knees. This is a wide-legged squat. And if you want a little bit more stretch, you can send your hands in the Anjali Mudra, prayer pose, down toward the mat. And then we'll bring our seat back down to the mat and slowly roll down, or you can express roll down, putting your hands underneath your knees, and just kind of rolling back for express method. Bring our knees to our chest. And then place our feet on the mat. Knees are pointing up to the sky. Your legs are hip width apart. Place your hands down by the sides of your hips. And so your heels are trying to reach your fingertips trying to reach your heels. Navel's tucked to your spine. So you're going to create kind of a bowl shape with your pelvis. Your pelvis is tilted up. Lower back is on the mat, creating kind of a sunken bowl in your lower abdomen. We'll sweep our arms up and overhead. And then sweep them back down along the side again. We'll sweep them back overhead. Big inhale. And sweep them back down along the side. Big exhale. And this time when we sweep them up and over, we're going to lift our pelvis up. So sweep our hands up and at the same time push down into your feet, lifting your hips off the mat into bridge pose. And then slowly sweep your hands back along your side while you gently roll down your spine and bringing your lower back down to the mat. We'll do this a few times in a very slow motion. So inhale, sweeping your hands up as you're pushing down on your heels, lifting your hips up off the mat. Just pause here. And then slowly bring your arms back alongside as you're lowering your spine, one vertebrae at a time, down to your lower back, bringing your lower back down to the mat. And then one last time. Inhale, sweeping your hands up, pushing down into your feet, lifting your hips off the mat. Pause here. And then slowly bring your hands back down alongside as you roll down on your vertebrae, one vertebrae at a time, coming down to the mat and resting your lower back on the mat. And then extend your legs out and we'll prepare for Shavasana. So find a nice, comfortable, relaxed position where your feet are pointing to the edges of the mat, the corners of the mat, letting your feet flop open. Relaxing, sending deep breaths from your toes all the way up to your nose. Relaxing all your muscles and joints along the way. Deep breaths from your toes to your nose. Relaxing your knees, your hips, your shoulders. Letting the nutrients of today's practice soak deep within you. And today's poem is by the US Poet Laureate, Joy Harjo, and it's titled Eagle Poem. And I should note that Joy Harjo is the first Indigenous person to ever be Poet Laureate for the United States. Her poem is called Eagle Poem. To pray, you open your whole self to sky, to earth, to sun, to moon, to one whole voice that is you. And know there is more that you can't see, can't hear, can't know, except in moments steadily growing and in languages that aren't always sound, but other circles of motion. Like eagle, that Sunday morning over Salt River, circled in blue sky, in wind, swept our hearts clean with sacred wings. We see you, see ourselves, and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. Breathe in, knowing we are made all of this. And breathe, knowing we are truly blessed because we were born and die soon within a true circle of motion. Like eagle rounding out the morning inside us, we pray that it will be done in beauty, in beauty.